Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Uh, uh.
Good everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to solve another exercise on link mechanism where we will be replicating that drawing at the top right corner of the screen. Then we are now going to draw the locus of P, right? So let's see how we can analyze this question. First of all, we should reproduce this question. And the question goes like this. It says that the crank in the figure rotates clockwise about O. That means this crank you see, this is the crank here. Look at my arrow. It rotates clockwise in this direction about point O here, right? Now, the link AB is attached to a rod CB. Now, what is the link AB? This is A and this is B. So this long line here is the link, right? And it is said that it is attached to rod CB, right? Now this is the rod here it's attached to. So as it's attached to this rod will be moving about C, right, in this manner. You can see either clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? Now we are now told to that it swings about C. So to construct the locus of P, if OA is 45 millimeter, if OA is 45 centimeter, AB is 180 centimeter, CB is 75 centimeter, and BP is 90 centimeter. The scale is 1 millimeter to what? 1 centimeter. That means 1 centimeter is seen as what? 1 millimeter. Is that okay now? So let's move forward. So let us replicate our diagram here. Now if you look at the diagram very well, we'll draw an horizontal line this way. We are going to draw an horizontal line this way, this way. So that will be my horizontal line. You can see that. And we'll pick a point. Let me assume that I am picking this point here. This point here. You can see that. So I'll now draw a vertical line on that point. So with the help of my set square and t square, I will draw a vertical line on that point this way. You can see that. Now, from this point here, look at the question closely. From this point here, where the vertical and horizontal line meets, you measure 180 millimeter to the next point. So from here, I'm going to measure 180 millimeter to the next point. So placing my rule here, from 80, from 0 to, this is 150 and we're told 180. So let me use this. So if I start from 1 will be my 0 and I'm going to stop at 19 since I'm starting from 1. Assuming I'm starting from 0, I'll stop at 18. So from 1 to 19 is what? Is 180. So this is where I am ending the point here. Alright? So at that point, that is where I am going to draw my crank OA. And we are told that the OA is given as what? 45 millimeters. So how will I do that? I'll take my set square, place it on my t square, and I'm going to draw a vertical line at this point. So a long one, this is short one, long one, short, long, short, long, short, long. Now it's meeting here, right? So I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to measure 45. So from here to here is 45, right? And I'll place it at the center here and I'll draw a circle to represent my crank. This is what I have here. I'll draw what? A circle to represent my crank. So it means that this point where they meet is point O right? And I'm going to divide this circle into 12 if I want to, or I divide it into 8, but I'm going to divide it into 12. So how will I do that? I will I will place my compass from the beginning of the circle to the center of the circle, and this is how you divide the circle. I will mark up, I'll come here also, I'll mark up, I'll come to the center here, I'll mark left, and I'll mark right. So in doing that, I will now come to this center here with every point, taking the center O as my reference point. So it will be passing through that center. So this will come this way, right? And this will come this way, and this will come this way, and this will come this way. Now see that? So I've divided this circle into 12. Now if you notice from our diagram, right, we're told it is moving in a clockwise. So if you look at our diagram, this is O, right, as suggested in the question. Then this line here, you can take any one of your choice to be your point A. So I will take another ticking where I want to be my point A, which is this, and I'll ticking it, right? So this will be my point A. And we are told it is going in a clockwise manner, right? So it's moving in this direction. It's moving in what? In this direction. So from here, I will start. So this is A. This will be A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, then we have A11, right? Then after we've done that, that is for the crank that we replicated. The next thing we're going to do is the height we'll measure. We said earlier from here to here is 180, right? So which is shown in the question, from this point to that point is 180. And from this same point here, vertically to point C is given as what? 105. So I'm going to measure from here, which is that point you see and the arrow pointing upward, 105. So this is 105 here. This is 105, right? So 0 to 105. So this is where we are, 105 there. Now on that point, I am going to draw a line, my CB. If you look at it, this point here is point C, right? That is what? Point C. So I'll just take my set square and I will just draw a center line at that point, just this faint line, just this line here, or you can use your faint line. Now CB in the question is given as 75 millimeter, right? That is CB. So C is here, B will be somewhere around a line here. So let me take my compass, my rule, and I'm going to measure 75. So if I do that, this will be 75 here. So here to 75, right? And I'm going to place it at this point. And I'm going to mark my arc of what? 75. So from this point, I'll strike an arc this way, right? I'm going to take in the arc. You can see that. Now it means that, so we've already drawn this arc here, right? So we want to know where actually point B is as suggested in the question, right? So how will you know point B? You're going to mark A. Where is A? A is at this point here. You can see the A. Then B is somewhere along this arc here, right? So what is AB now? In the question, AB is given as 180 millimeter also. That is my AB. So I'm going to take my compass, right? We know from the beginning of the question that from here to here is 180. Either you use this radius or you just measure a fresh 180 on your meter rule. So if I take my compass, place it from here to this point, I know from here to here is what is 180, right? Then I'll come from point A here, right? And I'll place it and I'll mark somewhere around here. So that point it touches the um this arc will be given as what? My point what? Point B, right? So I will now take my meter rule and I will now connect from A here to point B here. I'll taking it. You can see that. So this is my B, and also I will now connect from A here to B here as suggested in the question. You can see that. So this is the rod connecting to this point CB. So if you look at the question very well, we are now given another point. This is OA, is AB, this is CB. Still remaining one point, and the point lies along this arc here, right? So what is that arc there? The arc is what? Either you call it is AP, right? So the AP, point AP here, or you say BP. Either you call AP or BP, but in the question we are giving BP. And BP is given to be 90 millimeter. So from B here, I'm going to measure 90 on that line. So from here to this point here is given as what? P. So this is where my P is, right? That is my point what? Point P. So we have replicated this question here. Now it's for you to draw. The question says we should draw the locus of what? The locus of P, right? So it means that at every given point, we have a new point at this arc here, CB. So as this crank is rotating in a clockwise manner, it is pushing this rod in this manner, right, along CB, along C. So let's see what we have. Let's see how the locus of point P will look like. So I have from here to here to be given as what? My B. Is that taken? This is my point B here. I'll go to point A also. I'm going to mark. So that next point will now be B1. Is B1, right? B1, we have another point. I will draw a line, but this time the line I'll be drawing will be a faint line from A1 to B1. Right? It will be what? A faint line. So on that line, I'm going to measure another 90. So from this point here, from O on that line, I'll measure from point B1 to get P1. So this will be another what? P1 here. Right? A1 will give you B1, also will give you P1. The same thing again with radius of 180. I'll place it at A2 also. I'm going to mark on that point. That'll give me B2. So I'll be having the B2 at this point. Right? Then I'm going to connect A2 and B2 together. From A2, I'm going to connect B2 together. So along B2 and A2, I'll get P2. So I'm going to measure from B2 here along that line to 90 along here. That'll give us what? The P2. With the same radius again of 180 on my compass, I'll place it at A3 and I'll mark on that arc. That'll give me my what? My B3. My B3. So I'll connect B3 and A3 together. Right? So along B3, I'm going to be having, let's see, I'll measure 90 along that line. So from 0 to 9 is 90. So it's going to give me P3. Similarly, with the same radius, I'll go to A4. I'll mark. I'll be having what is called B4. So along, I'll now connect B4 to A4 this way. You can see that. And along B4, A4, I will get in P4, so I'll measure 90 along that point. So this is 90 here. So we'll call it my P4. With the same thing also, I'll come to A5. I'll mark on that arc. So I'll connect, that will be my point B5. So I'll connect A5 and B5 together. Connect A5 and B5 together. So along B5, A5, I'll measure 90. This is here to get what is called P5. Similarly, I'll come to A6 with the same radius of 180. I'll mark on that arc. So that arc will be my B6. B6. So I'm going to connect B6 and A6 together. So along B6, A6, I'll be getting P6, which is the radius is 90. So this is 90 here. So to give us my what? My P6. Similarly, I'll do the same thing. I'll come to A7. I'll mark on the arc. So at this arc where it cuts here is my B7. And I'll connect A7 and B7 together. So along B7, A7 is my P7, which is the distance is 90. So I'll measure 90 from here. Can you see that? So that will be my P7. I'll go again. A8, I'll mark at this point with the radius of 180. That will give me my B8. So I'll connect B8 and A8 together. So along B8, A8 will give me 90, where I'll get my P8. So if I do that, from here to here, from this point to this point is 90. And that'll give me my what? My P8. Similarly, I'll go to A9. I'll mark at that arc at this point here. So where it meets will be my B9. So I'm going to join A9 and B9 together. A9 and B9 together. So along A9, B9, I'll get P9. So the distance is what? Is 90. So this is 90 here. This is my P9. Similarly, my A10 will cut at this arc here. That'll give me B10. So I'm going to connect B10 and A10 together. So when I connect it, so along B10, A10, I'll get P10, which the distance is what? 90. So from here, this is the 90 here. So that will be my P10. Then for 11, A11, place it at this point here. and I'll mark on that arc where I'm going to have B11. So I'll connect B11 and A11 together this way. So along B11, A11, I'm going to get 90 to get my P11. This is it, from 0 to 9. This will be my P11, right? So now I'm going to use my French curve, and I'm going to join all these points. Look for the locus of this point here. So with the help of my French curve, right? One thing you need to do is always do them one at a time, at least mark those points. So I'll just come here and I'll start joining. Take at least 3 points. So if I take P8, P7, and P6 together this way, you can see that I'll go to those 3 points. Then I'll take this one also, P6, P5, and P4 together, right? Then also I can take P8, P9, and P10. Let me just put it this way. So I can just from here ensure that one of the part there is closed from this point. So if I take this together like this, take another from here, then from here I can take P1 and P2 together like this. You can see that this way. Then this is P11 and P10 here, and let's take that this way. Okay. So we have P9 here. Doing this. Doing this. So we're having something like this. So this is the locus of point P as this crank rotates clockwise, and this connecting rod AB is connected to what? To point C, is moving in this manner. So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.